What the hell's that taking? There we go.
But I got their attention today. Let's just
Yeah,
say
you'll
that.
be able to get us all in.
Well, you want to be in a podcast?
And go to the.
Wait,
yeah,
how do I put
here.
this up? It won't go up.
Hey, what are you doing?
Drinking your tea?
Hang on, dude.
Sorry.
We're setting things up, folks. You want me to sit down? Or can you, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, yeah. And then you swivel it up and down.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Can you see me?
I can see you.
Well, I want you to focus more on me, Scott.
Yeah, focus on her, not my eyebrows.
I was gonna ask you. You got different kind of eyebrows.
I do,
They'll
they're
fade
fading.
out.
Let them.
She just got them done.
I just got them done.
So they're dark. Yeah, I want to get microblading, so he doesn't do the microblading.
No.
But
But did
that's
that
what I
be
want.
mine?
Set. See, because my eyebrows are blonde, I just want to get them. They're called microblading, which it's
He's
kind of like
drilling
a
on
little. It's kind of like a little tattoo, but it's like coloring them. But microblading, see, hers look tattooed on. Microblading, they look like real eyebrows.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need you to get up to date with this stuff, Butch.
okay, yes, please.
Sit. Sit.
What's going on here?
Down. All the
Hang
way,
on a
Chief.
second. Just a second.
Look, I told you, these are like crack tape.
Okay.
You do anything for these things.
Really?
Ready?
We're 3, 2.
One, we're on. All right.
I have drool all over my hand.
Good evening, folks. Good evening. We had some requests or suggestions that we not wait for anybody to show up, so we're not. We're just going to crank it right up. You can always look at it later, I realize, whoever made that great suggestion. So tonight we're going to talk about a topic that's near and dear to my heart. We're going to talk about Western Shepherds as personal protection dogs, as they're commonly called, or as I like to refer to them, security dogs. So we got 2 Western Shepherd owners here. And we've got a few little stories about Western Shepherds that have been involved in personal protection. Now, when I say, are they like a natural? Most dogs, all dogs are going to defend their territory or their pack.
Oh,
That's a
David.
given.
Yep.
That's a given. But there's some dogs who'll, remember, when it comes to actual defense, the defense drive where you're protecting something, you're watching our little Western Shepherd here exhibiting himself and
Those are like crack to him,
going
I'm
after
sorry.
his ex-dog treats there. What are
They're
they?
like crack. He
What are
loves
they?
those.
What are they?
They're freeze-dried liver. Oh, he loves them.
Freeze-dried liver from ex-dog. You can't apparently feed them according to Bullet. So throw in the package there.
And he loves them, and they're good for them too.
Show it again,
Good
Carrie.
for 'em, too.
Huh?
True beast.
Show it again. Okay, good.
Look at him. He's so attentive.
Automatic
Down.
sits. Almost automatic down.
Well, because I have it in my hand, he was trying to get it. I'm gonna put him up now. Okay, sorry, folks. Go carry on, Butch. Carry on.
Ex-dog, true beast. Liver treats.
Okay.
So, the problem you get with defense, there's a reason sports people try to train strictly in prey drive. That's because it's a motivating, forward, confident drive, and the dogs don't feel stressed or threatened. They feel confident and cocky. When you push a dog into a real situation, though, you've never been in defense. Now you're presented with another situation here. Defense has 2 possible outcomes, and in nature they're both honorable. You know, let's fight or flight. And us humans would say, well, if you won't stand and fight, by God, that's what they did at the Alamo. You know, well, look what happened to them boys at the Alamo. So, you know, in nature, it's all about being around for the next day to survive. So, flight is every bit as, you know, if dogs worry about honorable. Hello, Bullet, my favorite little son.
He's an attention whore. Sorry.
This, by the way, this is Mr. Bullet. He is the second approved sire in the Western Shepherd line. He's got his first litter on the ground, a tremendous looking pup, so they're going to be nice. So anyway, you have fight or flight, and you're not going to know when you train your dog to kill prey if they're going to choose flight when they get in a defense situation or fight. So this is why when you train or at least when I train for my guard dogs, remember, these dogs are out on site by
Uh-uh.
themselves. Hey, Bullet, thanks everybody wants to pity. Leave the cameraman alone.
Sorry.
Don't mess with Scott, man. My dogs have to fight and handle man by themselves. They don't have the benefit of a squad of
Come on, go outside for a minute.
military or
You go outside for a minute, Mom,
police
please.
officers behind them to back them up. So they're more likely to be put in a situation where they'll choose to fight. That's what I have to worry about. And the only way you get over that is to train with defense, enough defense, and to make sure balancing with the prey, so you're sure your dog's confident enough to engage in the fight. Now, all that said, that's what we're looking for, or what I'm looking for in a real security dog. Security dog being the term I use rather than personal protection dog. So this is a dog that's going to choose to fight over the flight. I know he's going to, and he's also going to be physically able to stop a man. So he's going to be, I like him to be at least 85 pounds.
What do you call them? Man stoppers.
Man stoppers, yeah.
Man stoppers.
So you got a man stopper, Miss Butterfield?
Yes, I do. And he's proven that a time or two. He'll take somebody down. Cause can you imagine somebody running, sprinting, and a 95-pound dog running, what did we clock him at, 31 miles an hour? Running 31 miles an hour. 35? 25, no. Shut up. Scott don't know. But 31 miles an hour is what we clock Bullet. And hitting you center in the back, he's gonna take you down.
Right.
I've seen it, and it's amazing.
And we had the radar gun, we actually clocked Bullet at 36. If I
What the
remember right.
I remember 31.
No, it was 36.
It was 36.
Oh, well, my dog is fast as hell. I mean, he is fast. I mean, he's
Yeah.
super fast.
So, yeah, she's right. If you, when you take the physical potentials, so Carol Ann's got, 16-week-old pup,
Yes.
something like that. And
Bullet, what are you doing?
what's his attitude? And she's also got 90-something, 90 to 100 pound Doberman who's
Yes.
no slouch. What's McCoy like, Carol Ann, as far as, when they're playing and such? At 16 weeks.
At 16 weeks, between him and Titan, as big as Titan is, I would figure that, he would not be trying to go and keep up with him. But
Speak up, girl. I like that.
it's where you can see them outside playing, and you have got McCoy just going and going and going. He never stops. He will keep going. I don't care what Titan does or what Titan grabs. He does not back down.
Titans are dope.
Titan is my Doberman. However, there is a certain place that, they are in the house when they go into a pecking order. And I know when he gets a little older, is going to try to become dominant over Titan. Because I can see that in him. I'm sorry, I see that in McCoy.
I saw that in Bullet with
Yeah.
Gunner, but he don't.
He didn't.
No, he will get on his back and try to play with him, but it's like they know who's there first.
Yes.
And Gunner's unneutered. So I thought Bullet would, we all know my dog is an a-hole. That's just like his mama. But he won't. He won't.
Okay,
that's what I thought too, but he won't.
There's
Okay.
a,
Come on, whiny butt.
let's clear up one of the things. Let me elaborate on what they just both said about puppies going up, male, and fighting. That doesn't have to happen at all. That's a factor mostly of how much time they've spent growing up, playing together, getting along together, and how much you communicate with your dog. If your dog understands the word no,
Mm-hmm.
when they start hitting puberty, if the little munchkin used to be munchkin when wants to get cocky, you just tell him no.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Why did you have that situation?
I do have that situation with Bullet. Like Lincoln. Lincoln, my sister's dog is unneutered male. He will be neutered soon, but he's not even a year old, but he's gone through puberty.
Pyrenees, large.
Appearance Bullet. And Bullet will, I've seen him try to stand over him and jump, and I just tell him no, and Bullet stops. Because I've trained my dog. My dog knows what no means. And he knows his mama don't play.
Right. So And all that,
I mean-
all these factors are gonna be, they're gonna tell you what dog you're gonna get. There's no such thing as getting a dog that's perfect at everything through genetics. And I know there's a lot of people I run across over the years.
He's
Yeah.
perfect.
They were always, you know, I know one character who wanted a dog to train in one of the protection sports, and he swore to damn that he
Bullet.
went through, it took him 5 or 6 dogs, mouths, before he found one that had the genetics to do it. Now, the first 4 he had, he bought his pups and raised himself. They didn't have it. The 5th one that had it and was able to compete, he bought when it was, I think, 13 months old, had no part in its raising, and the dog had already started on bite work. So what's that tell you? It ain't the genetics.
Yeah,
Genetics
yeah,
do not
it's-
make a dog.
I
Genetics-
don't. I think it's how you raise them most part, right?
Well,
Am I
it is,
right?
it is, yeah, and that's a biological fact that a lot of dog breeders have the only genetic line that works won't reveal to you. But what genetics do, genetics set the maximum you can get out of any animal. A dog, a horse, tiger, whatever. So it's the way you raise them that makes them. But you have certain tendencies that are gonna be strong and they're going to react. And that's what, you know, I'm gonna mention a few of those reactions. Hello, buddy boy. I ain't got no more True Beach liver treats, I'm sorry.
No, now he's being attention whore.
Oh,
He
now
loves
he's in-
Butch. Butch is his person.
He's my little buddy, my little bitty sidekick. So, here's some examples. I'm gonna talk about where no protection training whatsoever, varying degrees of
Stop.
obedience and attention from the owners. And all of these incidences I'm gonna talk about are gonna be dogs that were less than a year old. And I'll let you decide, you know, what they can do. So, the most dramatic one was, I say under a year old, I'm wrong. This first one was a dog that was 13, a male was 13 months old. These people had 2 Western Shepherds. They got a female,
I know what you're talking about.
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And then they came back 7, 8 months later and said, ooh, we need a male.
I got my bubbles.
We need 2, huh?
Bubbles.
No.
Oh, no, this is someone
this
else.
one. Oh, yeah, this is way before you. This is
Oh,
from,
this is way before me.
yeah, this is from the first litter of.
Oh, okay, well, then
bark
carry on.
puppies. Yeah, bark puppies. One day I'll tell you about the most expensive puppy ever sold in the United States of America, and it was a Russian Shepherd.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Oh,
You ain't gonna believe how much money this one went for. We'll tell you that next week maybe, so.
But
now-
you're gonna tell me when the cameras are off, because I wanna know.
Oh, okay. For now, the female and male, these people were living in a rather exclusive neighborhood. When I say exclusive, I mean it's like, in springtime, they don't do spring cleaning. They did spring remodeling.
I got you, yeah.
Oh,
I
yes.
know
So we
people
know
like
where we're
that.
at, right?
Yes.
And there's all these workmen that are out there remodeling all these homes for these people, and the owners of these 2 dogs. The lady of the house was in the back, and she was there with the maid helping her do some ironing, she said. And she heard the 2 dogs barking, and they kept barking. So she hollered at them, and the older female dog, she came running back to them. The male dog, who's 13 months old at the time, he stays at the door, apparently, and keeps barking. And she decides, I better, you know, he's getting on my nerves, I'm gonna go shut him up. She walks in to the front of the house, and there at the doorway, in the doorway, was her male dog barking at something, and she looked and she saw a little spot of blood on the outside of the door. Now, her house is set up where you come up the sidewalk to the front of the house, and she's got a large patio type affair in front of the house. It's got wrought iron fencing around it, so you have to come through the door there, and you walk across the patio to the front door, and then you come in the front door, and it's a foyer entrance that's about the size of my trailer trailer here that you walk into with a marble floor. and the dog is standing there going, rah, rah, rah. So she runs up and she sees the wrought iron gate doors, because the door to the house is open. The wrought iron gate door is open, and there's a spot of blood on the marble. Whoa!
Shit.
Whoa, watch your language. We got children. No, we don't have children. We don't have children watching.
Stinker pot.
So, that's a good thing.
Well, I know, but then I forget it if it's in there. I'll just drink it. We're good.
So, you move bullet outside. Oh, whoa, whoa. So anyway, she looks out the door and she sees this character standing in the street, and she hollers at him. He holds up his arm and he hollers back at her, pointing to his arm. Your dog, he beats me. And she looks at him and goes out there and slams the wrought iron gate. Obviously, this male pup, this guy was in her foyer, in her front room, and that male pup stopped him. So, you know, this is undoubtedly a situation where you have a dog that chose fight over flight, 13 months old with no training. So this is where we go into our genetics, but also a little bit of luck. You know, kind of the nature of the dog, and the nature of the dog is going to be determined greatly by how they're raised. These dogs were both raised in a very attentive, loving home. There were two boys, both between like 8 and 12, I believe. They had constant attention. They were part of the family, and this was that Western Shepherd pup's natural reaction to what he perceived as a threat, and obviously it was, because I'm telling what this character would have done had there not been those dogs in that front room. So there's one example of a natural protector, right?
Yes.
So,
What book is that?
Love it.
The natural protection.
Love it.
so all you people buying Rottweiler, almost every Rottweiler breeder I ever met said, he's a natural protector. Oh, Fila Brasiero. The Fila Brasiero, the Brazilian Mastiff, every breeder tells you they are a natural protector. And what they are is they're just a Mastiff.
They're just big.
They're big and they're spooky, right? And they don't know how to handle strangers, because when Clea, the lady who brought the breed over here originally, and gosh, back in the 70s or 80s, she wrote a book about them, and she said, you don't let them see anybody, you keep them away from everybody, and that way they'll be good guard dogs. Well, all that made them was spooks. But that's a very popular belief of the Fila people, maybe still today, I don't know. So that every time somebody came to the door, they'd go, wah, 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 wah. And that wasn't to tell that person, I'm gonna get you, that was to tell that person, please go away, because I might get you. So,
Well, because if your dog, you don't socialize your dog, from my understanding. Your dog is going to be scared of everything, and 9 times out of 10, they're going to choose flight over fight. But if you socialize your dog and have them used to everything, when something goes wrong, they're not going to be scared. They're going to go in full force, right? Am I right? That's what I've learned.
that would work.
So,
Think of it this way, Carrie, you do not fight what you are afraid of. If you are afraid of it before the fight starts, and you have the option to get the high heck out of there,
you're going to run.
yep, every time.
Second wind says hello. Troy's here.
Hi! They're my friends. Well, yeah, and
Late or night,
like Bullet, from day one, I've did everything you told me to do with him. Because if something happens, I don't want my dog to take off and run in. I want my dog to bite somebody.
right?
I mean, so if I'm being attacked, if my dog, like you said, if he's gonna hightail it out of there, oh, well, she's fine, she's got it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and here's something else that people don't think about. If Scott was, well, Scott may not be a good example because Nate's bigger than he is, but if you're in that's his son. If you're in the bar room shooting pool, you know, and you got your 12-year-old son with you, and some big old biker comes up and says, shoves you and says, get out of the way, you wouldn't turn to your kid and say, hey, go take care of him, would you?
Except if he's Nate.
Well,
Like
Scott might, because his son could. But
Remember that happened in '96. Remember what happened?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is,
So-
I'm not understanding the scenario you're okay, so what?
So your dog looks at you all its life as the pack leader, the parent, the protector.
Oh, I get it, okay.
So, and this is where you'll see these people, we're gonna evaluate your dog protection training, and how you're gonna evaluate it. Well, I'm gonna push you and see if your dog will come attack me. Well, you know, once in a while a dog will go woof, 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 and I guess they pass those. But the truth of the matter is, your dog, especially if he's less than 2 years old, looks to you to protect him.
Except for your bullet.
Except, so
Okay.
you got to come up with something else. And the biggest thing you're going to come up with, like I said, you don't fight what you're afraid of.
Mm-hmm.
And in a dog's development, a medium-sized dog, mostly all the working breeds, their nervous system, that's a long story, but their temperament and development is pretty well done at about 7 months of age. So, what happens is, everything they see
Hey, it's
in that first 7 months of life that's good for them or to them, they're happy to see the rest of their life. Everything they see in that first 7 months of life that frightens them, that hurts them,
Zach.
they're going to be afraid of that for the rest of their life. So now you have the unknown. The unknown, the things they don't encounter in that time frame, people that are bigger, people of different color, loud noises from vehicles, everything that they don't encounter in that 7 months, when they encounter it in adulthood, you don't know which way they're going to go. They might, out of fear, stand and fight, or they might, out of fear, turn and run. That's why all dogs that are going to be serious security dogs need training to first get their confidence up and show them that they can win no matter what. And second, to give them the training for a fighting style that guarantees that they will win no matter what.
Like him, I've had big people do decoy. I've had him do black people, white
Exactly.
people. Have we had a Mexican decoy? Maybe we should do that.
That's all I've got right there, Troy.
What?
Troy's asking me to zoom out. I can't zoom out anymore tonight. That's about as far as I can zoom out right now.
Was he missing my face?
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, he is. He's all worried about your face, Carrie.
Here I am. Right here.
Didn't mean to interrupt you.
Our tech man's taking care of it. So,
Did Troy see my bullet? Come here, my bullet. This is my bullet for you guys just tuning in. This is my protection dog.
that's not his face. The dog better make that straight.
There he is. There he is.
That's his nose.
Nice looking pup.
Yeah. Oh, good.
They're dangerous at both ends, they say.
What? Dangerous at both ends. Yes.
Depending on what you're
Yes.
reading, yes.
Yes.
He's still scarfing up that roadkill.
Look, I have woken up before with his balls in my face. Oh, I can't say that right. It was
Tennis balls.
tennis balls.
Because he's retrieving.
Because he'll just like plop on me and lay anyway. He's
with
so
his tennis
funny.
balls.
With his tennis, yeah, my bad.
Okay, so
Bad.
that's why this is not for kids. And for everybody who thinks our Western Shepherds only come in black like Bart, this is
Nope.
we
They
also
come in
have
all different colors.
Sables, and down in the brindle. So what do you say, buddy? I ain't got nothing to eat. I'm so
I
sorry.
just think the black is my favorite.
Black is his favorite.
I do eventually want a dog that looks like Bart. I want a big black and tan one.
You know,
Everybody wants Bart.
when I started coming here and I started learning everything about all the different breeds and all the different dogs, and I just watched all the training, I know for a fact that after being here almost 2 years that I did want a Western Shepherd.
Mhm.
The difference between my Doberman and my Western Shepherd is I can tell both of them, and we speak French, we tell them to go in the cabin, and I say, da cabane. Well, my Western Shepherd looks at me, he goes straight in his cabin, I close it. My Doberman looks at me, he thinks about what I'm telling him, and he goes out the back door. I have to step out the back door and say, get in the house, and go
But
in the
no.
cabin. And
Mhm.
then he'll come in, because he doesn't think I'm gonna go after him.
Right, right.
That's the difference.
Well, see, and I've been here almost 3 years, and I've had a lot of dogs. Let's just say that I will only own Western Shepherds from here on out. Well, and my boyfriend says we will only own Western Shepherds because they can be multi-purpose dogs. You can train them legit for anything. Now, he's been my first dog I've trained, and he's been super easy, so I'm just gonna stick with it. But, well, I mean, at my house. I'm at my house. Like, here I've trained all different dogs. I'm at, from my home, I have a Great Dane at home, and I have a Blackmouth Cur Healer. Let's just say I will never own a Blackmouth Cur Healer mix in my life. I love her, but man, she's stubborn. And my Great Dane, he's good, but we don't do the training part. I mean, he just sits. But my Bullet has been the easiest dog. Like, he does search and rescue. He does scent work. He does bite work. He loves dogs. He loves people. He loves cats. I mean, he's an all-around awesome dog. I know for a fact he loves our cats.
Fried or roasted?
He doesn't eat them. We have 3 cats. My boyfriend's a cat person. I'm not. I love my cats, but I'm not a cat person. I'm a dog person. But, I mean, I can honestly take him around anything. He listens to me. I had a dog attack him, and he attacked him, and I told him no, and he came running right back to me. I mean, how many people can call their dogs off a dog fight?
Right.
But I put in work with him. But I mean, I love my Western Shepherd, and I speak highly of the Western Shepherds, and I will only own Western Shepherds.
Yeah, and I do too, for the simple fact that after I had said I was gonna foster McCoy, well, that was a foster fail, but it's all right.
No, that's another
It
story.
was easy for me to
That's for next week, though.
teach him to front,
Yeah.
to sit, to heel, just be attentive.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you guys, and I'll say it again, he just looks attentively into your eyes. He will not stare away. He just, that's of your soul.
Yeah.
He just stares you down, which you don't do that with my Doberman.
The same with the bullet puppies that I'm training. I'm
Yes.
training bullet puppies.
Yes.
They're so attentive. They just listen so much. It's crazy.
Yes.
But I mean, and I don't have a doubt in my mind if somebody tries to attack me, there's not a doubt in my mind that he will eat them. And I kind of want to encourage that, but nobody will mess with me when I have him in public.
Yeah.
Linda Snyder said
Turn your
that.
phone off.
I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Sorry, cameraman sucks. I'm just
Cameraman's
kidding.
phone is going.
What happened?
So,
Wait,
Linda
what?
Foster said the best foster parents can be fails, and she's laughing, which means you're gonna foster, but you kill your dog now.
Yeah. I was gonna keep Ryder. I would have been a foster
Yes.
girl too. It is what it is.
Yes.
so that as we're nearing your witching hour.
Are you calling me a witch?
No, bewitching hour. The bewitching
I do
hour.
have a broom I fly around on sometimes.
So,
What?
Only Carrie.
I have to put my little spark in this. That's why people really watch it.
Yeah, only Carrie.
that's why I watch it. I go home. I do reruns. I just cut it down to her spots.
I've enjoyed them. I've been watching them, and I enjoyed them actually.
Yeah,
hmm
I have.
Yeah.
The only one I didn't, that I was kind of like, I turned it off, was the one with Madison recorded. Like, 'cause
Yeah.
I don't know what she was
That's her,
doing.
That's her daughter. We tried her on the camera one
Yeah.
time.
I have no clue what she was doing. It was like 10 minutes of nothing.
Actually, Madison.
Takes after her dad.
She was a cameraman
I'm just kidding.
twice.
Just kidding.
She's gonna record with.
Second Win has a question. Who names the pups?
I do.
And what are they named after? He wants to know who names the pups.
Yeah, the pups that we raised to adulthood, we
Keep them. It's between both of us.
yeah, it's kind of a mutual
West.
thing.
I like to keep the old West. He likes the old Western
Mhm.
things, and I like gun names.
Yeah, she goes gun names, Bullet, Remington,
Bullet. Yeah, I go with the gun names. I have a gunner, trigger,
Right.
bullet.
and I'll do Cody, like for Buffalo Bill Cody and
We did
Uh,
Colt,
Colt.
but that's
Calamity
also a
Jane
gun name too, right?
Yes.
For Calamity and
And he said, I noticed that, very cool.
It's what?
Second Win said, he noticed that, and that's very cool.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
If I know I'm gonna keep a puppy, I will name it a gun name.
Yep.
And Butch knows, well, that puppy's gone.
And Linda Snyder says, and Bart.
And Bart.
Black Bart.
Black
Black Bart.
Oh,
We
I'll
have
tell you what, wait, let me,
what?
very few people know about the original Black Bart. He was a Western outlaw in California. He's absolutely, they called him the poet, two nicknames, the poet robber and the gentleman robber. This guy did amazing things. He was, first off, he's one of the biggest bank robbers. Wells Fargo they hired Pinkerton just to go after him.
Nice.
And he was afraid of horses. He robbed stages afoot, and he never fired a shot in his life. He never even owned a piece of ammunition.
Huh.
And if y'all want to next week, I'll tell you the story behind Black Bart's namesake, because it is really, really, TV can't do stuff like it. Movies can't do stuff like this. But for now, since we're getting at that hour, I'm going to tell you my favorite Western Shepherd protection puppy story.
Okay, let's go for it.
We ready? All right, so this is a little female, and the folks that own them, they're not far from here. They live right down the road. And apparently, she's about 9 months old, I think, at the time. And this is a real close-knit family. And the husband's father, he comes over and
Oh.
piddles and diddles. You know what I'm talking about, Karen?
Yes, I know. It's funny.
He piddles and piddles around the house all the time, right? I mean, he just comes in and he helps them with the whatever. He
So
does-
the dog knows him.
the dog knows him well.
Okay.
He's got his own key to the front door.
Okay.
And so the family, the husband's at work, and the wife and the 2 kids are off doing with wifey things. And her phone rings, and it's her father-in-law. And she says, "Hi, Dad, where you at?" He says, "Well, I'm in your living room, and I'm wondering if y'all come home real quick." And she says, "Well, what's the matter?" And he says, "Well, I'm not going to say the dog's name. I'm going to make up the name.
Traveler.
Traveler." Oh, that's a good name for a future. That was
That
Robert
is,
Robert
Traveler.
Lee's horse's name. Yeah. Doesn't get it, Scott. So he says, "Traveler has got me backed up against the door. And every time I try to make a move, she comes closer and bares her teeth." And the wife goes, "Oh, come on, Dad. What'd you call for?" He said, "I'm serious. You need to get home. Your dog is fixing to attack me." She immediately turns around. They're on the phone. She's talking on his phone to the dog, telling her it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. She gets to the house. She runs in, throws open the door. Pup goes, "Ah, Mommy, I'm glad to see you." Wags her tail, and then runs over to Dad-in-law
And it's
and
fun.
licks him all up. He's fine. But you don't walk in
That
our
is
house
funny.
unless you're family, immediate family.
Can I say something too, real quick? Well, I have house cleaners that come every 2 weeks. My dog knows them. They're like the same story. My other 2, they'll go in the house with my other 2 dogs. They've been coming for 2 years now.
All Bullet's life.
Yeah, all Bullet's life. Yeah, they've known since Bullet was a baby. They will not enter my house if they've called me a couple times to go put him outside because my boyfriend was in the back sleeping in, and I couldn't get up. They will not go in the house because he hits things. But as soon as like you said, as soon as I come home, Wags tell he's fine. He's fine with them. There's like maybe Billy, our best friend, can enter my house with Bullet there. Bullet's good. You've seen him. Anybody can come in. He's good. But like you said, when you try to go in the house without us, but I kind of like that because you know how you can have a friend and then they try to rob you or do some shady stuff and they get to know your dogs.
Yes.
These Western Shepherds, they won't allow that. They won't. Now, my other dogs will probably help you. They'll lick you while you're taking the TV out or whatever. Bullet won't, even if he knows you. And that's what I love about these dogs. You could be friends, come over every other day, once a week, whatever. You come over without us, my dog is not going to let you.
Yeah, so there's some hopefully unbiased, well, not hardly.
I'm
There's
very
some
biased.
actual accounts of the temperament that these dogs possess, and let's be clear, they're raised by people that make them feel a part of the family, that make them feel confident, that are well socialized.
They love kids.
Yeah.
They're not aggressive dogs in any
No.
way whatsoever. Until you try to hurt their pack or you come in the house without one of
All right,
us.
so
I mean,
and on this kind of on this same thread, I think if enough people are interested in this, because it could be an interesting topic, I promise you. I think next week we're going to do the story of the two black Barts. The original black Bart, 1850 California, stagecoach robber, Wells Fargo burglar deluxe, and his namesake, the baddest thing on 4 feet in the world today, Black Bart the Western Shepherd. So what do you think, ladies?
And then I have his grandson, so
You
woo-hoo.
guys grandson?
I have his son, so
When you hear the story of Black Bart, you'll understand why cowboy shows, Western movies, and all this stuff have never run out of material, because there were so many unique people settling our Western country in those days that you ain't gonna run out of amazing stories, and we'll share one with you.
I started getting into it, learning the stories and stuff because I wanted to know
The
the names. I wanted to know the story behind what we're in. Now we've named a few: Dolly Parton, Willie Nelson. We all know those stories. But I mean, it's very interesting, and I do like.
Masada 79 says, I think Gunner deserves an honorable mention, but I'm biased.
Honorable mention, one of the best.
Gunner?
There you go, Gunner, yeah.
I have a gunner. My Great Dane is named
That's
Gunner.
what he's talking about.
Oh, he is, but he's he'll probably lick you to death if you break him. I mean, it is.
Mine
what it
too,
is.
had a video, a picture on Facebook, and our friend goes, well, we're not gonna come in your backyard, and we're like, no, not with that Western Shepherd or that Doberman.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-mm.
well, there you have it for the week, folks. We'll if y'all are so inclined, we'll return next week with the with the story.
I'm sticking my tongue out.
Troy says, thanks, guys. Troy.
See you, Troy.
See you,
Thank
Troy.
you,
Hey,
bud.
if you ain't having fun, you ain't training dogs.
And
And we're out.
peace.
Deuces.
You're so pretty, you coming to me.
He's
Yes.
so funny. He's
Yeah.
such a dork.
You know,
He's an attention whore.
yes.
Like he
McCoy.
loves
So
attention.
is McCoy. If I'm petting Titan, McCoy stands under Titan.
That's
That's so